KUAM News brought to you by GTA. We start with you, Subway and Chili's Grill and Bar.
There's no shortness of excitement when it comes to hitting the polls, especially up north, where it's the largest amount of voters registered to take advantage of this year's primary election.
Thank you. Keep up!
Supporters were at the ready. Each one showing face for their candidates.
Viva! All in! 4 more years! Yeah!
And in true Super Saturday spirit,
Viva San Nicolas!
voters driving up and walking into their sites set up in their districts for one reason, to pick the ones they want to lead the island. Outside of the site at Ukudu High School.
Happy Election Day. How do you guys feel now that you cast your vote?
Good. I hope he wins.
Great. We're voting Joe Snap's team.
Relieved. No, but yeah, get out there and vote, guys. I'm glad I did it.
Among them, we find Anita McKell, a retired Guam DOE teacher.
Voting for the right to make our island better. So I made my decision to vote on the Democrat side.
She says it's through prayer that she is hopeful she made the right decision on her ballot.
The one problem that we have in our island is actually the housing for the Manamkos. I'm over 65 already, and I'm living with my sister. Both of us are living. We're taking care of my she's older sister. She's bedridden, and so to make housing for the Manamko more accessible and livable, and not too much where we're going to pay a lot.
An issue that resonates with many more that call Guam home.
The message to our leaders that whoever wins this election to please help the Manamko and also the young ones that are just fresh out of high school.
This is going to be so many times I voted.
Well, Ken Blas is a Navy veteran. He uses a cane to get around.
I got a bad back, I got a arthritis, a bad eye. My ears is going out too.
He wants elected leaders to know.
We do need a hospital, because there are a lot of veterans here on the island, man. And then, for the little outpatient that we have in Agana Heights, that's a small clinic.
Similar scenes over at FBLG Middle School in Jigo and at Liguan Elementary.
I look for further change, right? I don't look for what happened, through COVID. That's hard to judge, but I look for who I think is going to take us down the road, further down the road now that COVID is going away.
And one thing that voters expressed they did have some questions and concern about was where to vote. Of course, there was 4 polling sites for both Dededo and Jigo this year. All of that information available on KUAM's website as well as the Guam Election Commission's website. For now, Hannah, we'll toss it over to you.
Thanks, Nick. It's been long awaited and now primary election day is here. I'm visiting a few central polling sites to speak with island residents on their hopes for tonight.
It's very important for us, the voters, to choose who's going to lead our island, and hopefully the best person wins.
I guess I like grassroots candidates. So.
Voters were seen swiftly moving in and out of the different central polling sites. We spoke with island resident Brent Tibbetts about his voting experience at George Washington High School in Mangilao.
It was good. People were very friendly and professional, and it was quick, and I don't know why more people don't do it.
We made our way to John F. Kennedy High School in Tamuning, where Governor Lou Leon Guerrero casted her vote. She expressed her gratitude to those that have been by her side during her term in quest for re-election.
Thank you to all of my supporters. Our supporters are so energized. Thank you for your energy. Thank you for your commitment. And most of all, thank you in believing in Josh and I. Thank you. That is so honorable and humbling for me as governor, and certainly we'll continue to provide whatever we can to lift up our people's lives.
Former Governor Felix Camacho was also present at John F. Kennedy High School to cast his ballot.
Like they always been, I voted Republican.
While the gubernatorial team will advance on to the general election, he encourages supporters to still remain on the Republican side of the ballot.
Typically, when there is a non-competitive primary, more people will tend to vote where there is competition. We have encouraged the supporters of the Camacho Ada team to not play games by going on the other side to try and determine who will win, but rather stay with the party and help us get the numbers, the requisite numbers we need to get into the general, because you do still have to reach a certain threshold of voters.
Voters in Tamuning, Mangilao, and Ordot Chalampago shared what qualities they're looking for in their next elected officials.
That they follow through with their promises.
Honesty for the people, I guess.
Just to be honest, trustworthy, integrity.
I think just keeping with their promises.
Helping all the people.
Some island residents were vocal about their concerns in the community.
I'm looking for the hospital, help the hospital. Especially during the pandemic, they're overworked. And safety.
Hospital, health, and our police officers.
We need to put more focus on workers. I think especially with the unemployment up right now, there needs to be more protections for old workers coming back into the workforce, as well as new workers coming into the workforce.
Guam's future, as far as our involvement in the world, our independence or political status, and then more importantly, just the island recovering from COVID. Got too many people struggling out there. Got to have the right leadership, take us to the next stage.
Tonight we'll find out who the voters selected to move on to the general elections in November. In the meantime, let's check in on Daniel Perez, who's visiting the southern polling sites.
Good day, everybody. Daniel Perez here with the KUAM News team coming to you from the southern village of Hagat, where residents are casting their votes on the southern villages.
If there's any changes that you want the government to do, then vote. Vote for the right people that you think can really lead Guam to move forward.
A perfect way to summarize what the election is all about from Hagat resident Lito Argalan, who believes that it's in the hands of the people of Guam to better the island by electing just and fair government officials. As we made our way further south into the village of Malesu, we spoke with Carmela Taikinko and Shirley Frigiger, who shared what issues they believe should be addressed by those running for office.
I think one of the main issues is just the drugs and the safety, and people don't feel safe anymore, all that. And then yeah, it'll be nice if the leaders can figure out a way to help us feel safer, and yeah, so that to me is a really big issue that I would like to see improve, some improvement on that, but yeah.
Mine will be the roads as well, because I drive from the south all the way up to where I work, and roads is really dangerous. The roads are not safe either. Okay, so that will be something that they can fix too.
Finally, in the village of Inalahan, resident Fred Flores believes that it's the children and educators the candidate should focus on.
We got to take care of our children. A lot of them like to say, we got to take care of education, but when they sit down, it's not like that. Hire qualified teachers and keep the teachers that graduate, you know what I'm saying, with the bachelors and the PhDs here on island. If they treat them good, I think they'll stay here instead of going off island.
Now, remember everybody, polls close at exactly 8. So if you haven't voted yet, especially if you are in the southern villages, look for where you can vote and vote before 8. And remember everybody, do not cross vote or cross over when voting. Otherwise, your vote will not count. And on our way back to our KUAM studio in Harmon, we ran into Governor and Lieutenant Governor candidates, Congressman Michael San Nicolas and Sabrina Salas Matanani.
So we're really wanting to encourage everyone to come out and vote, and let's make this change happen.
Every place we've been, we've gotten great feedback, and excited to see what happens tonight.
Keep it locked to KUAM News for the latest results on the primary election. Daniel Perez reporting for KUAM News.